What's up, everybody? Welcome to Malda 5. My name's JD, and as of super recently, it is officially winter. So, to fit with the wintry theme, I decided it'd be appropriate to head to Modern and play some snow. So today, I've got Stompy Snow Slumber, I'm calling it, and it's a deck built mostly around a card called Marit Lage Slumber. Came to us from Modern Horizons this summer. Really, really cool, fun card. If you're not familiar, it says whenever Snow Permanent enters the battlefield under your control, you scry 1. So that alone is super helpful. At 2 mana, this comes down turn 2, and 80% of our deck is Snow Permanents. So almost every single turn, we're scrying 1, at least scrying 1, maybe sometimes multiple times if we play multiple Snow Permanents. Comes down early and starts super helpful card selection. Finds us the stuff we do need, gets rid of the stuff we don't need. So it's helpful in and of itself just with that first ability, but the important fun part is the second ability. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 10 or more Snow Permanents, you awaken Marit Lage, basically. So you sack this enchantment and you create a 20/20 flying indestructible monster. So that's the goal here. We want to beat people down with Marit Lage. Seems fun, seems hilarious. So that's what we're going to try to do. Although the deck can certainly win without awakening the beast. So we'll talk about that as well, but that's kind of the main goal. The deck is built around this. So, as I mentioned, we went very, very heavy on Snow Permanents. A lot of that is in the mana base. We're basically all snow-covered lands. We're mostly in green and blue, so a bunch of snow-covered forests, bunch of snow-covered islands, a single plains and a single swamp to splash for a couple cards I'll mention in a moment. Scrying Sheets is just insane in this deck. It taps for colorless, but then it also reads, basically draw a card 4 out of 5 times. It says, look at the top card of your library. If it's snow, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. But literally 80% of the deck is snow, so again, 4 out of 5 times that ability just reads draw a card, which is great. Stapled onto a land, there's really little downside to including this. It's not taking up any slots, it's just in the mana base, so kind of an auto-include. Prismatic Vista is our fetch land of choice, because we're running all basics, so this can fetch any of them for us. Arkham's Astrolabe in our deck is just an auto-include. It's a 1 mana, replaces itself immediately, it cantrips, and fixes our mana base. It's kind of it adds to our Snow Permanent count, it sits on the battlefield, so it's kind of a no-brainer. And again, like I said, it does help fix our colors. I'll talk about the splashes first. The white splash is for On Thin Ice, which acts as our removal in this deck. It's basically a sorcery speed Path to Exile. 1 mana, 1 white mana, exile a creature. And it's a permanent. It's an enchantment, so it adds to our snow count to get to that magic number of 10 for Marit Lage. There is a downside. It's obviously not as good as Path to Exile. It's sorcery speed, and it requires that the creature remain stapled to a snow land. So if the opponent's able to get rid of the land somehow, then they get their creature back. So it's not ideal, but the upsides certainly outweigh the downsides. It's pretty rare that our opponent will be able to get rid of our basic snow-covered land. So again, a lot of times this is our snow version of Path to Exile. The other splash is, again, for more removal. This is Dead of Winter. This card is insane. It's a one-sided Wrath for 3 mana. Almost all of our creatures, we'll talk about Sakura Tribuilder in a minute, basically all of our creatures are snow creatures. So this is a one-sided Wrath, 90% of the time. It's minimum going to be -3/-3, oftentimes more than that, so it can kill some big stuff. And it gets around indestructibility, because it doesn't say destroy, it just reduces the toughness, so it can get around indestructible creatures like that. It's just really, really good card. Going back to Skura Tribe Elder, again, great card. Comes down, chump blocks, replaces himself with a basic land, aka a snow permanent, so he can fetch out the white or black if we need it. Even if we don't need mana fixing, it's just he's replacing himself with a snow permanent. Again, all to awaken Marit Lage. Let's see what else we got. We got the Boreal Druid. We need something in the 1-drop slot aside from the Astrolabe. And so the Druid's great. It's a snow permanent. It helps us ramp. Fits the bill pretty well. Ice-fang Codal, amazing card. It's essentially a removal spell. Since it has flash, you can flash it in as a surprise blocker. 99% of the time it's going to have Death Touch. We will almost always have at least 3 other snow permanents. So flash, flying, Death Touch, and it replaces itself. You draw a card, it cantrips. Can't beat that. So very solid card in our deck. Glacial Revelation, again, crazy value. 3 mana, draw 4 or 5 cards probably. You reveal the top 6 and put any number of snow permanent cards into your hand. Again, 80% of the deck is snow permanents. So, yeah, you're looking at 4 or 5 cards on average, which is very good value. Orin Viper, 1/3 for 3. So not the best stats, however, he basically has Death Touch, a strangely worded old way of saying Death Touch. And whenever he deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. So this guy can make combat tricky for your opponents. He's a great blocker, and on the offensive, you put them in a position of either losing their blocker, or if they let it through, I get to draw a card. Great creature. Makes combat very tricky. And this guy, finally, we have the Abominable Treefolk, and he is where the Stompy comes from in the name. This guy is the one putting the Stompy into the deck. He will minimum be a 4/4 for 4. Oftentimes much, much bigger than that. He's got trample, so power and toughness equal to the number of snow permanents. So this guy will often be a 5/5, 6/6, maybe an 8/8. He can be huge. And he has trample, so he can actually get through damage. It's kind of useless having a big, giant, beefy, Abominable Treefolk if he just gets chump blocked all day. So the trample is crucial here. And then when he enters the battlefield, you also get to tap down an opponent's creature, and it doesn't untap until their next step. So he's got that little bonus added on. So that's the main deck. Stompy, Snow, Slumber. Again, the main goal is to get Marit Lage online, but we can also just beat down with Treefolk and Vipers and get it done that way, because we've got a lot of value in these cards. So we don't need Marit Lage, but that's the goal. It would be hilarious. Moving to the sideboard, we have the other 3 Dead of Winters for the creature-heavy matchups. We can bring these in just as extra removal. Abrupt Decay, we're splashing black, so we might as well go for some of the best cards that black has to offer. Abrupt Decay can't be countered, kind of a catch-all, destroy anything. This will take care of like Okos and Little Teferis and all kinds of various permanents that we want to get rid of. Again, we're splashing white, so might as well make use of the best graveyard hate in the format. So we got Rest in Peace, Damping Sphere for Tron and Storm and all that good stuff. And finally, Veil of Summer against any blue or black deck. Just a great card. So that's the sideboard, and yeah, that's the deck. I'm gonna take it into a Modern League and see how we do. So hopefully you guys stick around for watch that gameplay. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Yeah, I'll see you in the first round.